Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Go, Aurorus. Aurorus is a rock and ice type Pokemon with the moveset of Powder Snow, Weather Ball, and Thunderbolt. At first glance, it has a great moveset, but a really bad typing, so it will be interesting to try it out in the Great League Remix Cup to see if its moveset is enough to overcome the typing. I decided to pair it with a Toxicroak on the lead and Lickitung as the save switch. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Aurorus in action in the Remix Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a great lead Toxicroak into Greedent. And even better, the Greedent is staying in, which means they very well could be weak to Toxicroak somewhere in the back as well. I do tank any one move, so I'm going to no-shield the Body Slam and then fire back with the Sludge Bomb. This is going to be taking out the Greedent if they decide to let it through. Greedent does commit the shield, and then I'm going to save switch into Lickitung. Lickitung doesn't have a good matchup here, but I need to save switch into Lickitung to check if my opponent has a counter user or a steel type in the back, because Aurorus is absolutely destroyed by either typing. They are going to fire off the Body Slam. We tank that just fine, and then I'm going to fire back with a Body Slam of my own. This is not going to KO, but it is going to get them low. Body Slam lands, and then they bring in Beedrill. My guess is that they're probably going to commit to the farm down, and it looks like they're probably going to be able to do that before I reach a second move. Lickitung trying for the Body Slam. We fall just short, and they leave with a ton of energy. I'm going to bring in Toxicroak and basically force them to Drill Run. An X-Scissor will not KO here. They go for the Drill Run, and now it's all up to Aurorus, and they reach Drill Run number 2. I am going to shield up. I hope I can farm down before they can reach a third. This is going to be very close. Come on, Aurorus. We can farm down, and we leave with quite a lot of energy. We know they still have the very low health Greedent. They bring it in, and I'm going to throw the Weather Ball. This is going to be taking out the Greedent. Then we'll have to see what they have in the back. And they have Dugong in the back, so it makes sense why they didn't want to switch out of that lead, because they were weak to Toxicroak in the back as well. Thunderbolt does get shielded, and Dugong decides to go straight Icy Wind. They're hoping to win a war of attrition, just debuffing me, but I do resist Icy Wind, so I'm able to no-shield no problem, and then fire back with the Thunderbolt. They're going to be able to reach a second one here, and that means that my second Thunderbolt is not going to be enough to KO, so this is going to be extremely close. Here we go. I'm over-farming quite a bit, throwing on good timing, and going for the Thunderbolt. I know this is not going to KO. Can I reach a Weather Ball? It's going to be close. We get there. The question is this enough? It's double resisted and double debuffed. It is, and we clutch out a narrow victory. Hopping into the next match, leading Toxicroak into Dragalge. Not the best lead ever, but Toxicroak can hit back hard with Mud Bomb in this matchup. So I am going to stay in to start. The Dragon Tails are doing a lot of damage, but I'm going to fire back with the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb goes unshielded, does a nice amount of damage. I save switch into Lickitung, and my opponent responds with Greedent. This is not a fabulous spot to be if you're Lickitung. Lickitung is of course famously bulky, but the licks in this matchup are double resisted, so unfortunately I have basically no fast move pressure. Meanwhile, Greedent is incredibly spammy with Bullet Seed Body Slam combination, so they are typically able to win this matchup. The one good thing for me here is baiting out the Bullet Seed user hopefully will free up Aurorus to close in the endgame, and the fact that they didn't bring in like a Registeel or a Fighter hopefully means they don't have a direct counter to it. This is still not Body Slam range, so I'm able to tank this, and then I'm going to try and go for the Power Whip, as I think Power Whip is going to come very close to KOing here. I'm really hoping that it's going to be enough. Power Whip, just not able to KO, and they reach a last second Body Slam. I am going to let this go, and then I'm actually going to get energy on Aurorus. I'm able to get 2 Powder Snows, which is very nice, and we'll have to see what they have in back. And that is really bad news for me, as it is Crustle. Crustle hitting for super effective damage. I fire off the Weather Ball, get the shield, back in comes Toxicroak, and they bring in Dragalge, which has the Aqua Tail loaded. I'm a little worried that they're going to be able to reach another Aqua Tail before I farm down, so I'm going to be going for the Mud Bomb. This is going to be forcing the final shield or taking them out. They decide to let it through, and back in comes Crustle, and this is a scary spot to be in, to be honest. I decide to let it through. It's an X-Scissor, and they get through an extra counter. I'm putting all my faith in Aurorus here. Can Aurorus get to the double Weather Ball? We are one off. This is going to be extremely close. This Weather Ball is going to be shielded. Aurorus able to get to the Weather Ball. Hard counter who? Aurorus taking down the Crustle. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, letting Toxicroak into Registeel, a great lead. And even better, the Registeel is staying in. I can overfarm by 1 here and still outpace. I go for the Mud Bomb and they catch onto Machamp. This is really good news for me because it looks like Toxicroak absolutely core breaks their line. The one bit of concern is that if this is Registeel Double Fighter, my backline is in a lot of trouble. I'm going to be able to farm down. We'll have to see, do they bring back in the Registeel or do we see that third Pokemon? I'm scared it's going to be a fighter, and it is Surfetched. I'm double weak to counter in the back, and neither one of my back Pokemon like steals. So this is not a great spot to be in. I bring in Lickitung and Surfetched is going to fire off a move. I'm hoping to be able to reach a Body Slam on Surfetched. They bring back in Registeel, and I'm just going for any damage I can get. I'm just going straight for the Body Slam. This is easily a range where a Focus Blast is going to be enough to KO, and I'm not willing to shield. I am going to let this go. They go for the Zap Cannon. They undercharge it, but they undercharge it too much. A costly mistake. I'm going for the Power Whip, and I'm able to get there. This is going to be getting that Registeel quite low. Power Whip does land, and they're going to fire off a move. Again, I'm not going to shield a thing here. I'm just going to bring in Aurorus to try and get ahead on energy. Aurorus does have shields, and now we have energy. We are taking double super effective from the counters. Aurorus able to reach the back-to-back, and it ends up being CMP. I am going to commit the shield, but we do have 2 Weather Balls, 1 for the shield and 1 to land on the Surfetched. Is this going to be enough to take out the Surfetched? We get the shield, moment of truth. They get the counter through. This is going to be very close. Weather Ball, not quite enough to KO. They farm down Aurorus. Toxicroak farms them down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, letting Toxicroak into Surfetched, a great lead. Opponent save switches into a Snarl Mandibuzz. I'm going to farm up, go for the catch of the Aerial Ace, but unfortunately my opponent holds on to their energy. We have a very nice matchup here, lining up the Aurorus into the Mandibuzz. We're able to hit them for super effective damage while only taking neutral in return. This Mandibuzz is running the heavier hitting Dark Pulse, but we're still able to tank too. As you can see, Aurorus does have some pretty okay bulk. I am going to fire off the Weather Ball. We get the shield, and I'm firing off Weather Ball number 2. Can we grab the second shield here? This will not KO, but it is going to be able to get them low. Mandibuzz farming up, and they catch back onto Surfetched. Very nicely done. They've saved quite a bit of energy on Mandibuzz, but now I can bring in the Toxicroak. Toxicroak is going to be firing off the Mud Bomb before they're able to reach a Brave Bird, and they're not going to shield it. They can bring back in the Mandibuzz as it does have quite a bit of energy, but I have 2 shields. So if I want to, honestly, I can double shield, farm down, and leave with quite a bit of energy for whatever's in the back. They're not able to reach a second move, and it's Abomasnow in the back, and this game is over. Toxicroak is going to be able to reach the back-to-back Sludge Bombs. We get the shield, and this one is going to be able to land. Toxicroak able to close strong, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Toxicroak into Tapu Fini, and this is really not a great spot to be in. I'm going to save switch into Lickitung, and they're staying in. I'm just going to keep farming up. They go for a Body Slam catch onto a Alolan Marowak. Thankfully, I was going to go straight Power Whip, so that works out great for me, as now I have a big energy lead over this Marowak. Marowak did not build up to the Fire Blast, so I don't have to respect it. They are Fire Spin and Bone Club, so we're in a pretty nice situation here, because neither one of those are going to be doing a ton of damage. We're able to tank this second Bone Club as well, and then I'm going to be able to fire off the Power Whip. I will slightly overfarm in this situation, and this Power Whip should be enough to KO. Power Whip goes unshielded, and they get taken out. Fini comes back in, and they go for the Surf right away. Honestly, this works out very nicely for me. I'm going to bring back in Toxicroak, and they've taken some damage, so I'm just going to go straight Mud Bomb. They do live the Mud Bomb, but all I really need to do in this situation is just get it low. Mud Bomb goes unshielded, and they're going to be firing off a move. I do tank whatever they throw here, should just be the Surf. We tank that, and now I'm going to bring in Aurorus. What is in the back? It is Abomasnow. So this is a little scary. If they're able to land an Energy Ball, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to keep spamming out Weather Ball after Weather Ball. I will need to land 2. They farm up a bunch. You know what? I'm feeling brave. Let's no shield. And it's a Weather Ball bait. And with that, this game should be over. We needed to call a bait there to have a chance, and call a bait we did. Because now we can very safely build up to the back-to-back Weather Balls. 1 to grab the final shield, and 1 that is going to be able to take out the Abomasnow. Ends up being a CMP tie. I'm going to be firing off Weather Ball number 1, able to get the shield from Abomasnow. We switch and we're able to catch onto Toxicroak. I was looking for that CMP tie. We take advantage of it and we bring back in Aurorus with energy. Aurorus is going to be able to take down the Abomasnow. All they have left is Feeny. Feeny gets Powder Snow down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, setting Toxicroak into Mandibuzz. They are running Snarl, which is a lot better for me. I'm going to go for a catch on Aerial Ace. Unfortunately, their Mandibuzz does lag for 2 turns there, and they do miss out on some energy, which is really unfortunate. We're able to catch the Aerial Ace, but Lickitung is going to be punished by Vigoroth. Definitely good to bait out the counter user, but this is still a pretty tough situation to be in if you're Lickitung. Body Slam doesn't even do half, so Vigoroth can throw 1 Body Slam and commit to the farm down, and even if I reach a second move, they know that they don't have to shield. I'm able to reach the last second Body Slam. This is going to be getting them quite low, but again, the opponent knows they don't have to shield in this matchup. Toxicroak comes in looking for the farm down. I decide to commit the shield just because Toxicroak, definitely not the tankiest Pokemon around, and this way we leave with a ton of energy, and they have Whiscash in the back, and this is a pretty big core breaker for the team. So this is a lot of trouble. Our main counter for this, Lickitung, has been taken out, so things are honestly not looking too good here. I am going for the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb gets the shield, farming up, and they're firing off a Mud Bomb of their own. I'm hoping I can somehow survive this. Toxicroak cannot, and now I am in a ton of trouble because they overfarmed quite a bit. I am going to commit the final shield here. They do go for the Mud Bomb, and they're just going to be staying in, spamming out Mud Bomb after Mud Bomb. I am going to be firing off the Weather Ball. I believe this is CMP. We get the shield, and it is. At this point, I'm thinking my only win con is probably to try and Powder Snow down. Come on, Aurorus. Farm down. We cannot. And we lose a heartbreakingly close game. Hopping into the final match, setting Toxicroak into Frostlass. This is not a great lead, but I do have 2 better responses in the back. So I am going to throw 1 counter and save switch into Lickitung. Frostlass is staying in, and they're going to be firing off an Avalanche. I do tank an Avalanche, although it will do a sizable amount of chip damage, and then my opponent brings in Empoleon. I'm really hoping they don't commit to the farm down here, because if they leave with energy, they're going to be able to threaten shields off of Toxicroak. I land the Power Whip, and thankfully they throw as soon as they get the move. That is perfect, as this will set up Toxicroak for a very nice farm. I am going to be waiting my switch clock. I don't really want to be stuck in here, but then I can bring in Toxicroak and get a very nice farm down. Toxicroak now has quite a bit of energy. Do they bring back in the Frostlass? They do not. They bring in their final Pokemon, which is Quagsire. And as I mentioned earlier when talking about Whiscash, Mud Boys, definitely a bit of a problem spot for this team, which is really unfortunate. I am going to be firing off another Mud Bomb, just trying to get off as much damage as I can before they inevitably Earthquake me here. I'm just going to let it go. They go for the Stone Edge. Maybe they're running Stone Edge and Sludge Bomb. Either way, Toxicroak stays alive, and I'm going to bring in Aurorus. I should be able to tank 1 move here. They go for the Avalanche bait, and now we should be in a pretty decent spot. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt just in case they try to call the bait back, but they do commit the shield. A little unfortunate. I'm going to keep farming up, and now I'm going to bait. I went for the nuke the first time. I'm hoping they're going to give the second shield. They're just going straight Avalanche at this point, but after calling the first, I think I should still be in a pretty good spot here. Weather Ball bait does get the shield. Aurorus building up, and they're able to reach another move. My only lose con at this point is them catching onto the Quagsire. So I farm up, I wait for the middle of a Powder Snow, and I throw the Thunderbolt. This is going to be taking down the Frostlass. Back in comes the Quagsire. Quagsire trying to reach a move. We get to the Weather Ball. Weather Ball is going to be taking care of the Quagsire, and that is a good game. And now some final thoughts on Aurorus. To be honest, I'm conflicted with how I feel about Aurorus. The moveset I believe is genuinely fantastic. The Powder Snow Weather Ball combo is insanely spammy, both get same type attack bonus, and it does have Thunderbolt as a potential coverage move. Overall though, the typing is a definite disadvantage, and I believe a disadvantage that is going to render it to cup play only, and not really a Pokemon that you're going to be seeing much of in the Open Great League. I will say I do believe it has a decent amount of potential in limited metas, like for example Great League Remix, but at least for Open Great League, there are probably going to be better options. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.